Welcome everybody to Talk Bout Podcast. If you guys are having a good day, you guys can follow us on Instagram, follow us on TikTok, and subscribe here on YouTube. Today, we have a very special guest, our first ever UFC fighter to be on the program. He's 7-1. He's got a 100% finish rate. He's the newly signed, just had a victory last weekend. Marcus, the Maniac McGhee. Thank you so much for doing this, brother. How are you doing?
Doing great. Thank you for having me on, man. Definitely no problem at all. It's always exciting to jump on and meet new people, hear their story, and do a little bit of chatting. So I'm always game, man.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's an honor to have you on. And, before we get into anything, how are you feeling now that you're back at home? You're back in Arizona. All the craziness is over now. You're not in Vegas anymore. You're back home. Looks like you're back at your house. How are you feeling after the crazy weekend that you just, went through?
Well, I mean, at the least, I can say I'm blessed. Again, we made it through another weekend healthy. It was great to also go achieve a big dream that we wanted to achieve and do it in the fashion that we did it. So I'm very, very happy about that as well. But, I really took that moment in. I really embraced everything that happened. So as that moment came, so it went, and, on to the next.
Yeah, for sure.
Big win.
Yeah, huge win. Did it in absolutely dominant fashion. And just a week ago, this is the craziest part, obviously, of the whole story. Just a week ago, you weren't even signed to the UFC, the best promotion, the number one promotion in all of mixed martial arts. And could you tell me, how did that all go down? You stepped in on short notice. You get signed. Not only were you victorious, we'll obviously get into the fight and all that in a second, but how did that all go? How did that all come to be for you to step in and everything? Could you break it down a little bit?
Yeah, definitely. So I've already been looking for a fight. I fought in January. I honestly almost tried to I have a great manager, Jason House, and anytime he has opportunities available for short notice fights, he'll definitely call fighters who like to stay ready, fighters who will go ahead and take that next step and take a chance on themselves, and he gives you a good shot to maybe take up an opportunity like that. So I was staying in shape already right then, and nothing came into play. So started February. I just got back to the grind, started looking for a fight. Well, didn't find anything come February, stayed on weight, stayed like I needed to. Didn't find anything come March, stayed on weight, did what I needed to. April came up, still nothing solidified. Been trying to just take fights left and right, nothing happening. May, we had a card coming here, great card, LFA coming here. Couldn't get a matchup for that card. It was like I was going through an emotional roller coaster, because I was like, man, I'm trying to stay active, trying to fight. I'm trying to get into the UFC this year, but I know I need to make a bigger statement than I've already made. So it was pretty surreal when it all happened. I was at practice. I did jiu-jitsu practice that morning on Wednesday. And after jiu-jitsu practice, I was talking to a couple of my buddies and chopping it up, and they're like, don't worry, man, things are going to happen. Don't worry, you'll be ready. It's crazy how you've been staying ready. Just be ready for it. You can fight any day. You can even fight today if you wanted to. And I was like, you're right, I could fight today if I needed to.
Yeah.
Well,
Day of the week.
the universe made me eat those words.
Yeah.
Literally 15 minutes later, I'm getting a call from my manager and coach saying, hey, there's an opportunity to fight. It's on 2 days' notice. You're going to have to make weight on Friday morning. Can you make weight? Will you take the opportunity? And, I said yes. So the rest is history.
Yeah,
Who
the
wouldn't?
rest.
Take that.
Yeah, for sure. The rest is most certainly history. I just want to ask, real quick. You were talking about how it was an emotional roller coaster and everything. Was it difficult to stay on weight during all these months? I mean, I'm sure you want to be able to enjoy yourself a little bit, especially if no fights are being made and you went January, February, March, April, May. You're going through all these months until now. The end of April. To get this fight, but is it hard to keep your weight down? I know you're fighting at 135, which is unbelievable. You are a big 135. Know what I mean? So, but is it hard to keep your weight down for waiting to see when you're gonna get these opportunities, especially this insane one that you just got the other day?
Yeah, I mean, It is. It's more of a mental toughness though, right? Because like the Stoic side of me, because I'm really into Stoicism and all those types of things. The Stoic side of me says, less is more, right? Like, and that's what I like try to focus on. Like, there's so many abundances in life, and for me to only have to limit my calorie intake, that's not so bad, right? Even if it's forever, even if it's for the rest of my life, and I don't get to enjoy crazy, gorging food, right? It's like, is that the premise of life? Is that the premise of happiness? No, right? The premise of life and happiness is to chase the things that you admire and want in life the most, right? So, yes and no. I like to eat. I like to eat.
Yeah.
I like to enjoy food. I'm into a lot of different dishes, and I got a cooking show coming out here soon too. Uh,
Awesome. That's
heck yeah,
awesome.
heck yeah.
Are
So
you
it
able to
is.
talk a little bit more on that? What's the cooking show all about? Let's hear
Uh,
about it.
it's just not, it's just showing people me, like showing people how goofy I am.
Yeah.
I haven't had a chance to really come out and show people all the things I'm into. I'm into so many different things, and I think it's kind of cool. I think a lot of things I do is cool, and I never kind of went after these things for the clout. I just always enjoyed them,
Yes, sir.
and now I get to kind of use my platform to really come out and show people that you can be a savage and extremely intense, and you can also be a really loving, caring, compassionate,
Yeah.
funny, active human being, and those things really complement each other really well.
For your fight, how was the nerves for being that opportunity? And it was huge. Like, what was your nerves? What were you thinking?
Yeah. So I take it really serious. This is fighting, right? And in the fighting world, one person, all you got to do is slip, roll the wrong way, and it's over, right? So I take it very seriously. So on that aspect of it, the nervousness was like in the back of my mind there, just because I know it's a fist fight. I think we're about to get violent. Someone's getting hurt. And I don't necessarily want to hurt people, even though I do want to hurt people. Uh,
Yeah, it's a
uh,
weird way. I'm sure
Yeah.
how that works. Yeah.
yeah, it's just a weird medium there, right? So yeah, I don't really, so there was slight nerves there, but the other side of that is there were no nerves. I felt like I felt like I was a veteran. I felt like this is what I've been doing. I felt like I felt like I belonged nowhere else in the world than in that cage for that moment, whether it was win, lose, or draw. That's where I was supposed to be, and I just trusted in that fact and trusted in God that He placed me where I needed to be this weekend, and that was good enough for me.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. And not only did you drop him, you finished him, and congratulations on getting the performance victory bonus. Well deserved. And I just want to say, like, you deserve to be there. You're not just this guy that they needed to get thrown in there. It was perfectly set up, like you said, and like you said on the Red Hot recap. It was just all God's timing, and you got put into this position, and you went out there, and you didn't just get the victory. You crushed it out there. And, now you're here to stay because, you never know what would have happened. If you would have lost that fight, they probably would have just, I would imagine just, you would have went back to the scene that you were in and trying to build your way back up. I know the guy was on he won one fight and he had 4 losses in the UFC. So, this was a win-lose for him too. Both these guys come in, they have a lot of stakes on the line for 2 different reasons. Obviously, the other guy has had plenty of different, opportunities, more opportunities than you in this light with the UFC. But you come in there, this is your chance, and you absolutely showed off. So it was absolutely incredible to watch. And, now that you are in the UFC, and now that, even though this past week has been a crazy roller coaster, this is not what you were expecting. Is the plan to look for a next fight now? Or are you looking to get onto a card as soon as possible? You want to take some time and relax just because it's been such a crazy roller coaster? What are you thinking about doing? What's the next step, the next plan for your next fight?
Yeah, I mean, as far as training goes, I'm getting right back to work. I love getting better. I think there's a lot of comments, and I mean, for me, I don't really take people too serious, but there's a lot of comments about me being older and me not being able to really make a stamp in the division, and I'm gonna prove all those guys wrong. So for me, I'm gonna keep getting better and get ready to fight again. So I don't want to rush into another fight right away. I would love to have a 6-week camp at least. So I'm thinking, July, August, that sounds about right to me. And then, again, after July, August, maybe we could talk about November, December. I'd love to fight 2 more times in the UFC this year. I'd love to get 2 wins emphatically like I did. I really don't like going to the judges. It's not my thing. I understand that at the highest level, it's very hard not to go to the judges. But I train and put my mind state in the fashion that I have a 15-minute fight, but I'm going to go balls to the wall for 15 minutes to get that job done.
Well, I would say real quick, I know you're going to have a question, but I just want to say, it seems like you're doing that because you have a 100% finish rate and you're absolutely crushing it right now. So you're killing it with that stat line. So if you keep doing what you're doing, the judges won't have anything to score.
Yep.
When you went back to Arizona, how was it? How was your family? How was your friends? How was your teammates? What was it like?
Yeah, everybody's super ecstatic for me. My family, my wife, my kids, my team, my business partners, all of them are super ecstatic for me. They know me, and they just know my heart and they just know where my mentality is, and everything I've been through in life. And for me to make that type of accomplishment as the person I am and be the person I am already as a family man and community man as I am, it's just, I think it was, they're all super proud for that too. They're proud to see somebody break through who defies the odds, who defies the odds of basically, poverty and coming up in the wrong neighborhoods, wrong time, wrong things, and who takes themselves and builds something better out of themselves to help others. So they're all super happy about it. I got a really warm welcome. Got to hang out with the fam, had a little barbecue Sunday. And nothing but good words. Mario Bautista dabbed me up, hooked me up. Me and those guys have been going to war with each other in the gym for a long time. And a lot of people don't know about me, but again, I've been there with those guys. I've been there in their corner and at fights. I've been there every day in the gym with these guys, getting better, weight cuts. I really have spent the time behind the scenes, really putting in the effort to solidify my skill set. And I can't wait to really come out and show people that skill set.
Yeah, for sure. And, it's actually interesting that you just brought up your team. That was actually the next thing I wanted to talk about. You train out of the MMA Lab in Arizona, and how much can you contribute to them for, all the things, all your success when you were, fighting amateur to then pro and now into the UFC?
Well, it's crazy because lately, in the last month, we've been really adopting this term. The term is Ubuntu, right?
Yeah.
And if you look up the term means I am me because we are. Or what does it mean? It means I am. I'm messing up the whole.
You're good.
But basically,
You're good.
it basically is saying that I've become the person I am because I have all these other people around me that are who they are, right?
Yep.
And by them being them and me being me, we create this unity that is almost like neurons firing in the brain. Everything links together, right? And it's a really hard thing to take to derail something that's so strong like that, So I credit everything to the lab. I had to buy in. I had to do the training. I had to put in the blood, sweat, and tears. I had to do a lot of those things. Even though my team was with me, I had to do those things. But they were the ones that created that for me, created that structure, put me in there, gave me a mindset, gave me people around me that were that are already doing it. And again, I just had to buy in, believe in myself, and then do the things necessary to do it. So I credit everything to John Crouch at the MMA Lab, Randy Stakey, my training partners, Kyle Phillips, Shug, Mario Bautista, Abdul Kamara, Ezra, all these guys that have helped me in so many different ways to become the man and the fighter that I am.
Yeah, that's great, man. And another thing is obviously a big way for, if people didn't know who you are, they definitely know who you are now. And if they didn't, having the connection to Tim Welch and SeanO'Malley is a huge thing. I know you're good, friends with them, and you've trained with Sean. I've even seen the videos online with you helping him prepare for his fight for Piotr Jan. And how do guys like that help you also, propel to the next level?
Yeah, I mean, I can't deny that. Definitely when you train with guys like that and you see what you're capable of doing against guys like that, obviously it's a training, it's not a fight. But even in training, it's like knowing that I can have my type of mindset that I have in training against these guys and be successful in training against these guys. It definitely started to let me know, man, I do belong there, and these guys aren't going to tell me I belong there for no reason. They're not Strick didn't bring me in there to do rounds with him for Peter Yan because he wanted to beat somebody up. He needed somebody who was going to really give him,
Top
Yeah, he
Yeah.
didn't want some scrub coming in the gym like, oh, you know, I'm about to beat this dude up for the whole time. He wanted somebody who was gonna come after him, somebody who had the capability of being able to do it. So even just looking at those things, that definitely amped me up and let me know that like my skill set was there. Now it was just about creating the opportunity to come out and showcase it to the world, because this is the fight game. This is hard. You can be the greatest fighter in the world and slip up on any day, given night, you know. And that's just the truth of the matter. So, you know, being very present and sound of mind is one of the biggest things. And I think by being in there with such savages and going through such crazy wars in the gym, it channeled into making me such more of a calm, collected competitor.
Yeah, for sure. And I think another big thing is like, you know, they could pick anybody to help you train for a guy like Piotr Yan, you know what I mean? Like this guy is one of the baddest men on the planet. And it shows a lot about, you know, who they're picking when they're picking the maniac to be the guy that, you know, to train with SeanO'Malley. So that says a lot. And speaking of saying a lot, you know, I just want to say it says a lot to your character. You know, Riley and I started this podcast about 6 months ago, and we've put everything into this podcast. We got a sponsorship deal with a jiu-jitsu gym. We both are in jiu-jitsu. I actually have a tournament coming up this week that I'm preparing for, and we have a sponsorship with a jiu-jitsu gym. We upgraded our studio into a great facility, and I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I can't even believe you're doing this right now. Yeah. We are super blessed to have you.
Thank you.
I really appreciate you're going to help us get to the next level. So I just want to say, when you do hang up this phone, just know that you made two kids' day, and I really appreciate you being on here, because it's going to help us out a lot when it says special guest Marcus McGhee on the podcast. Yeah. So I really appreciate that very much, and I hope this isn't the last time we do this. I would love if because we're one of the first podcasts to get you on after the fight, and this is obviously your first fight in the UFC. I believe that you're going to be there for a while. From what I'm seeing, you have the potential to be a world champion in this sport. And I hope that we can get you on maybe after every fight, win, lose, or draw, and eventually fly out to Arizona. We've been there. We went to Vegas for UFC 279, the Diaz versus Ferguson fight. Yeah. And we went to Arizona, and it would be amazing to fly out there, do an in-person podcast, maybe check out the MMA Lab. Maybe also get a look at Tim Welch's gym as well, and it would be an absolute honor to be able to do that with you. And let's definitely stay in contact. And I really appreciate you doing this, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
100%, man. And honestly, just to be real with you guys, that's what I'm doing this for as well, because that's what's more important to me than all this stuff, right? More important to me to build relationships, to build community, to grow with people. I really want to bring that aspect back to it. I don't blame other guys for being the celebrities and the stars that kind of separate themselves from the public, but that's not the kind of celebrity that I want to be. I want to be known as the guy who has 100,000 followers and follows 100,000 people as well. So, and even though I can't keep up with everybody, I'm one person. That's the things that are important to me. So jumping on here was not just important to you guys, but important to me too. So I appreciate you guys being appreciative of that as well. Because man, it's a great thing, and I love what you guys are doing over there. It's really hard to step out on your own and chase a dream that you might not see the light at the end of the tunnel for, and you have to walk through faith, and it's a tough thing. So, keep kicking ass, keep doing your thing, guys. I'm super appreciative that you brought me on as well. It goes both ways, and I'm absolutely game in the future for sure. So let's go out here and keep on doing it, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we'll be watching. I don't want to take all your time. I know you're a busy guy. You're on top of the world. I appreciate you so much for doing this. We're both from all the way across the world. We're PA located. You're AZ located. So to make this happen, the fact to happen on such short notice, to get you on right after your victory at the UFC Fight Night 72, it's absolutely unbelievable. I can't say enough. Thank you so much for doing this. We're both so appreciative of it, and it won't be the last time. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen. If you're not following Marcus McGhee, what's your Instagram handle? I'll also throw it up on the screen as well. This podcast is going to come out tomorrow. So
okay. Yeah, sweet. Instagram is maniac_McGhee MMA. Twitter is maniac McGhee 07. And then I have a YouTube channel for my podcast that I actually just started. I can appreciate the work you guys are doing behind the scenes too. Punches and Pints is the name of my podcast. We just go over a bunch of different things, and I bring guests on. It's a really cool show. I've been enjoying it a lot. It's helped me to not only dip into the things that are important to me, but the things that are important to others. So yeah, you can find me on all YouTube, Instagram, and up on Twitter. And I also do have a Twitch account and a TikTok account, but I'm trying to get those more out there. I gotta figure out. I gotta get the name or get my username so everybody can really be able to follow me. And I don't
Yeah,
know
for real.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I know everything's happening so quick. I'm sure if we asked you, if we had you on the podcast from last Monday and I said, how's your week going to be? I'm sure you would never have thought
Like,
it would be what was going to happen. Dude, you deserve it 100%. You put in the work. Everybody can see that. You looked absolutely incredible on Saturday night. It won't be the last time, I can tell you. Not only will we be watching, the whole UFC fan base will be watching Marcus McGhee. So we will be watching 135-pound division. They better be ready. Thank you so much for doing this, Marcus McGhee. I really appreciate it. We'll see you again soon. I'll stay in contact with you. I'll send you the link to the podcast. Thank you so much, man. Have a great day, and I will. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you, sir.
You guys too. See you later.